Yes, guys, welcome back. Chelsea are back in the semi-finals of the Champions League. It's not 2014. It's the start of a new decade. And under Thomas Tuchel, it's been a ridiculous last 2 months. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat the match because, the match was like watching paint dry. But we went there with a defensive mindset, clearly because we had the 2 away goals. So I have no issues with the way that we played. I'm not going to complain that we had barely any chance or anything like that. Our game management was smart today. And it made us a bit frustrated at times because we could see Porto came with a lot more intent for this match, but it was obvious Porto were going to show more intent because they had more of a catching up job to do compared to what we had to do. We just had to see off the game. And really and truly, that's what we did. You could see from the way we were playing, from the way we received the ball and what we were trying to do with it. We played with a much more defensive mindset. And that's going to come at a disadvantage to your attacking play. So I can understand that, and I ain't got anything against it. We're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Nobody gives a shit. Yep, we lost. What an overhead kick. Nobody cares. I'm sure nobody cares. What a finish. At least we can appreciate it a lot more now because it actually don't mean shit. But big up everyone who's locked in. We've got over 100 of you guys here already. We've got guys on the panel. Big up Shane Connolly as well. Massive donation. Much appreciated. Pulisic was running all over them. Come on, Chelsea. Yeah, Pulisic was causing them a lot of problems in this match. You can see the amount of times they were trying to foul this guy because every single time he was on the ball, he was causing them problems. Kai Havertz as well. He struggled trying to find space in the final third, but there was little inklings of opportunities for him, but we struggled to create attacking chances throughout the match. And I feel like that's the same for all three of the attacking players today, but we didn't play with an attacking mindset, which is why I don't really hold it against any of them. Defensively, I thought we were solid. The entire back three had an amazing performance today. I'm hoping Thiago Silva's injury isn't anything too serious. Chilwell, he had a good first half. Second half, we won't really speak too much about, but Reece James had another dominant performance on the right-hand side. And Jorginho as well. Where is the photo as well? Jorginho won man of the match last week, and he's probably going to win man of the match 2 weeks in a row. I actually don't even have the photo on here loading, but I'll have it up when he gets the second award, because if he don't win man of the match today, it's absolutely criminal. But big up everyone who's locked in. Let's get the rest of the panel in as well. Yes, guys, what are you all telling me? Dad, we'll start with you. What are you saying, man?
Echo. You got echo.
Yeah, I think, is the echo gone now?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, go on, Dad. What are you saying, man?
At least we got a goal in the match, right? But other than that,
I know we're gassed because we're in the semi-finals, but as a game, I was fucking dead. So
I think all of our excitement last week when we had a 2-0 first leg advantage, and so I think we got all of our over the past week. We got all of our. This past week we weren't talking about. We weren't talking about Porto. We were talking about who we were going to verse next round. So this was more like a business trip. Just come through, get the job done, and then we move. And they did it. There were some players that I wished. Again, it was shout out to Kante. I don't think he thought that he would play 90 minutes this game, but unfortunately, Kovacic went down, and I think it was yesterday, right? Literally yesterday's practice, and then today he wasn't able to play, and Kante came through, and man, he was all over the pitch. But the standout performer in that midfield was Jorginho. He was saying he was everywhere is an understatement, because it's just whenever somebody messed up, Jorginho was there, and thankfully he wasn't the one messing up, because the position that he plays is so vital that he comes around to help the rest of the team, right? And they were focusing, trying to get crosses into the box, and they really weren't playing that much through the middle. And shout out to the wingbacks for not getting caught out as much as they did. They got caught out. I'm not saying they didn't get caught out.
One of them, yes. The other one,
exactly. It didn't come to bite us, And so that first half little Mendy mistake. Let's just say if that had gone, if the game could have been completely different if that had gone.
I'll say it. Am I allowed to say his last name on the channel, Lewis, on the video?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Honestly, I've said this before. I said this in the watch along. 2 things. Number one, I don't want Corona anywhere near our club. The player, not the other thing. Because If he had any sort of composure, let's be real. If he had any sort of composure, we're losing that game because he had three brilliant opportunities to either score or play someone in, and every time he shit his pants. Every single time he shit his pants.
Yep. And shout out, man, like Pulisic. He was out here running around like he was Jack Grealish, man. I mean, every single time he hopped on the ball, there was a foul. It was. I don't want to say it was dirty, but look, if we're being honest, the way Pulisic plays, it's a lot like Neymar. Like the positions that they get themselves into, it will force them to get, or not force them. They're going to get tackled, right? So if they juke the person out, they're going to get tackled because the person tried to get the ball but missed, right? So what else is he going to hit but them? So it's not a matter of they were playing dirty. It was just he was too good for them. And thankfully he didn't come out injured today, and this is what we needed from him. Yes, like how we talk about Werner, right? If Werner's not getting goals, he's getting into the positions, and he's at least creating. With Pulisic, sometimes, or especially last season in the first half before the whole post-lockdown thing, it seemed like he would kind of disappear when he wasn't scoring. And today we saw that he was able to, because we didn't have Kovacic to really progress the ball into the attacking third, he was there to collect the fouls here and there that not only like helped us progress up the field, but it did a lot of time waste. Like we wasted a lot of time this game. And I mean, it worked out.
Half of it was just them drawing fouls time, though.
Yeah, but I mean, and they still couldn't do anything. That's the best part. They still couldn't do anything. But
that's the maddest thing about. I said this. That's the maddest thing about Porto. Where you look at the game, like you look at Atletico Madrid game, you could quite clearly see the difference between the first game and the second game, where they went at it. They opened up, they tried to score, and we were able to beat that, and that's how we scored the goals we did. But in this game, Porto, they played differently to the way they did in the first game, but it was to their detriment. Like they weren't, bar the chances they had, which I think most of them were of our own, bar the goal were of our own mistakes that gave them the chances. They played a way that just they didn't look comfortable, but it didn't suit playing us. They almost tried to outplay us at what we do best, and it just didn't really make any sense. And it was weird watching it, because you look at like last week where they pressed us, they went at us, they were playing quick passing, like not really having a lot of time on the ball, and it worked for them, apart from the fact they didn't score. Whereas this week it was really slow. They didn't really create anything bar what we gave to them. They just didn't really look the same team, which was really weird considering they needed the 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this was just a matter of like again, we came into this. Look, we know we have Man City in the weekend, right? So I mean, I came into this saying, look, just rest people, and I was getting hate for that. But I'm saying, like, look, do you see what we did today? We didn't really create chances. We just sat back and we defended. We could have rested players and then just saved them for the Man City game. So that's the only thing I'm worried about now, is that Kai got 90 minutes under his belt when he could have been subbed off at 60, 50, 45, 75, right? Pulisic himself played 94 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do for that game, because players are going to be tired. Players are going to be, I mean, dude, again, I don't know why Kante played the entire game as well. I know we didn't really have anyone to substitute for him, but Mount played 60 minutes, so at least he'll be fresh.
Yeah, he was ass today.
But yeah,
I think it wasn't that bad.
He was ass, bro.
It wasn't that bad.
He was ass.
I don't think they were tasked to go out there and create and score goals,
bro. We needed rest, bro. We needed like a little bit of breathers, man. I think he went off that lineup, off this Crystal Palace lineup, and it's like, this is to show that every game is situational, you know. Certain personnel need to be in certain games. But I'm glad we got through, though. Like, I'm not complaining. The game was dead, to be honest. The only worry I had is, like, sometimes, like, you're in a game like this and we're trying to, like, play out from the back too much. Like, that Mendy goal came just like, all right, if they're closing down, we're 2-0 up. Don't take any risks. Just boot that up. Like, that was such a sloppy and risky pass. And thank God Jorginho was there to get a touch of that, because if Corona tried to pass it in first time, but then Jorginho got like a foot to it. So
yeah, Jorginho, man. I was hoping Kazi would be here as well because I'd love to have a conversation about Jorginho after this.
He actually bigged him up.
He's going to win back-to-back man of the matches against the same team, and you know what he has to as well.
I will say I don't think it's quite much of a landslide in terms of the man of the match as you're saying. I think you could argue that Azpi's up there as well for man of the match as well.
I get that, but I feel like Jorginho's had so much more impact.
Because Jorginho had like game-saving moments, so I would say it would be a landslide in that sense. Like Azpi was just solid, all around solid.
Yeah,
like,
you say that, but there were also
like
times
that,
if we're doing that, there were also times where Jorginho gave the ball away unnecessarily. So, but that's not to say he was bad because he wasn't. Like he was immense. But what I will say is, touching on your point, Dag, that you made at the start about Kante, I will be accepting all apologies of anyone who said that we shouldn't buy starting Kante in the post. Thank you very much.
Me too. Right here.
All apologies in the post. Thanks. Because he was brilliant, and I thought it wasn't just the defensive work; it was the positions he was getting further up the pitch. Where I said this in the watch on, where Kovacic isn't getting in those positions. He's not getting that high up the pitch, and like the chance that we had with Reece, where he dragged it wide, Kante creates that. Kante being in that position creates that chance. Without Kante being there, we don't have that chance, and that was one of our only chances in the whole game.
I mean, you can also say that ball that he missed to Ben Chilwell, he can also have created a better shot than that reshot. Like the one that where he tried to do it outside the foot, but then he realized he might not hit it, so he went to his left, and then he like skied it a little too high, and then Chilwell just had to chase it down. Yeah. But I think it was a matter of like someone made the comment in the watch along. They were like, Kante is world class and like 85% of the pitch, but then that top like 15% is just like there's just that final touch or the final pass that just kind of doesn't allow him to be that complete midfielder, you know. But
there's very few midfielders like that out there. Like even you look at some of the best, midfielders like in the world, or the most, let's not say the best, but the most informed. Like let's take a Bruno Fernandes, for example. There's so many elements to his game that are missing. It's just you don't see it because of what he's doing, what he does best. And like there are very few properly complete midfielders in the world. Yeah. Like you've got Pogba, Kimmich,
Goretzka,
and that's about it off the top of my head. Just off the top of my head, maybe Modric as well. But you don't see the deficiencies anywhere near as much because he does the best. He does what he does best.
Yeah,
and that's what you're gonna get though with That's what you're gonna get though with Kante. Like it's the attacking is not like you see the winning the ball and nipping in and driving is like Kante at its best. Like you feel me? And a lot of the times people don't understand like cutting passing lanes is like vital in the sport. Like making those like it is not allowing them to like get a clear pass lane inside. It may look different from the camera angle, but his body position is so good that it stops them from doing that. So they got to like recycle it outside or something like that.
And the thing is, it's even more impressive because he's not 5'10", 5'11" like most CDMs, right?
Yeah.
Like he's small, so they could easily just chip it over him. So the positioning that he has to get himself into to be able to just cut the passing lanes completely to the point where he has 6-7 interceptions a game, it's ridiculous. So that's why I don't like care that he missed the passes because everything else he did flawlessly, right? But the only thing I'm saying is if we have Kova in those positions, I have more confidence in Kova to pull it off than Kante.
I still don't, personally.
That's fair, but I feel like, especially since Tuchel's come in, that final ball has been so much better.
There was one chance where he had it and he could have. He should
have played Mount.
I'm not
Mount
expecting it from Kante. Like, you feel me?
There was one chance he had where Mount was free and he didn't look up. He didn't look left, and
the way he dribbles too sometimes is like. It's not like Jorginho. I give him credit. Jorginho. I don't know if he would have been able to pull it off. Jorginho has his head up always when he's on the ball. Like he never it's never like down. Even sometimes that's why I think Mount struggles in that position sometimes because Mount like gets his head down. Like if you ever see him dribble, his head is like kind of down a lot. Jorginho's head is always up and scanning the play. So if that could have came off, we had a couple chances. I think Ziyech had a good ball in like the last like 10 minutes over to Pulisic.
Pulisic had that chance, the Chilwell cutback.
I think that was
bit higher.
overhit from
I think it was
Chilwell.
if it was a bit
Yeah.
lower because he had to reach up to get it.
It was overhit.
I tell you what, someone who does deserve credit today is Thomas Tuchel for setting us up the way he did, because like we've seen us play a style of play where we've been the aggressor in the match, where we've been the team on the front foot, getting our team, having the most possession, doing lots with it, even if we don't necessarily score that many goals. But both games against Porto have shown a completely different side to our game, where we can sit back a bit, we can defend resolutely, we can take that pressure, soak that pressure up, and still hurt them. And that comes good for facing teams like a Real Madrid, who we're going to face in the next round. Like, say again.
And the good thing is, like, the style of football that we play, like this, like I like to call it this counter, simply counter football. Whatever your opponent is going to put out, you're going to counter. You're going to build your team. Like Tuchel says, to hate playing against, but not really in a sense of like it's going to be the same team over and over again.
Yeah.
But just
it's not like a Liverpool fear thing where you fear playing them. It's just like you hate playing against them because you know you're not going to get anything.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm not getting anything out of this game. I've got to work. I've got to play a 10 out of 10 performance to get anything out of this game.
That's what Tuchel said he wants.
And he
wants the other team to feel like that.
The most important thing is that it's sustainable, because we've seen it with pragmatic managers in the past that they get figured out. We're low key starting to see it now. We're starting to see it now with Jurgen Klopp, even though he's not a pragmatic manager. He's starting to get figured out.
You just have one style of play. That's why.
Got figured out, right? So when you play this sort of system where you're just setting up to stop the other team, not in a defensive way, but just overall, it's sustainable because you don't really have a set style of play, and so that allows you to just keep progressing and keep doing better. And so that's what I love about the position that we're in right now.
Yeah, it puts us in a good stead for those big games. Facing City twice, facing Madrid twice. Say we get past Madrid, facing whoever we face in the final. It's a good test for facing the teams that are going to have more of the ball, that are going to put a bit more pressure on us, that are going to have that bit more quality than we are.
That's why
with City in mind as well, because with this game against City coming up next, Kovacic might be out for that game too. Would you guys feel more confident with a Jorginho and Kante midfield pivot?
But I think that's what we're going to go with anyway, because we need the Kante for City.
We're going to do that.
I feel like we need Kovacic more.
They would play through that midfield.
The Kante game today, I feel a little bit more confident. Only a little bit.
The thing is, as well, is the last time we saw Kante play in that midfield against City was with Lampard. Like, we haven't seen how Tuchel's going to coach him to play against City, because it's a Pep team. And it's one mastermind versus another mastermind of just who can out-tactic each other. And I feel as though Kante can work in that game as well, because for me, they won't be having a De Bruyne in there. They'll probably be having Gundogan, Fernandinho, and
Rodri.
Bernardo Silva, maybe.
Rodri.
But I think that can work. I think it can work with having Kante in there, because you can do what he did against Fernandes.
I asked the question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, you do what he did against Fernandes against United, where you just, even if you have to just take a player out of the team, say they play De Bruyne in there, you take De Bruyne out there. Say they play Silva in there, you just take the Silva out there, or you take Gundogan or whatever, because then that's a player they don't have to play through. And yeah, I think for me, the City game is more on who the front three are, just because I think that's going to be where we can hurt them.
Yeah, I agree. If they put Ferran Torres up there, that's my dream.
Luz just has a Kante agenda, so he's got that.
What do you mean Kante agenda? Like, I can say Kante had a good game today, but there was still passes.
Bro, you got a Kante agenda. You understand, like, Kante pressing team,
Kante game, if we're going to be real about it. Broke up play amazingly. Did so well getting himself out of pressure. Then the heavy touches under pressure. Some of the bad passes to end the passage of play in itself. Like, he had a good game, but like my worries are still there. Like, I can't lie. He didn't have a man of the match performance. Like, he had a good game, but let's settle it. I'm
not saying he was like wow, but you're saying
and I'm not saying he was whack.
He's not gonna play against City though. Like, come on, bro.
If Kovacic is fit, then I don't think he plays against Man City.
But the thing is, City's their strongest point is in that midfield. So if they do try to go for this FA Cup, right? and they play De Bruyne Gundogan, and they're probably gonna have like 3 in midfield or something like that. You really just want Jorginho and Kovacic against that in midfield.
Yes, because they play much better together.
But like I think City will have they have way more quality than Porto, and
Flipping out, Jamie.
we
I think
need
it depends on who they play. Again, it fully depends on who they play.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we've seen Kante struggle a numerous amount of times against Man City, and numerous amount of times against pressing sides. So I'm always going to be worried about that.
I think it depends though, because like Dag said, like for me, if they play like a Foden in the middle, you need Kante, because Foden will beat the 2 we have, and Kante is the only one that can stop him doing what he does best. Same with De Bruyne. If De Bruyne is playing in that midfield, Kante needs to play, because otherwise De Bruyne is going to get so much time and space on that ball, and you know he will hurt us. So again, it just depends on who they play. If they play De Bruyne as a centre forward, as a false 9, and they have the 3 I said, Silva, Gundogan, and Fernandinho, then Kovacic makes sense, because they haven't got quite the ability to hurt us and play around us with that midfield 3, as if they had a Foden or a De Bruyne in there.
And Scott, I feel like one of our best chances us nicking. When I've seen City concede goals, it's always like a turnover in possession. So like,
it's the transition,
nicking the ball like with a Kante little touch, and like getting it into our creative players like a Havertz, Pulisic, going down at them. You know what I mean? I just feel like it makes perfect sense. And I feel like the only goals Kante has, he has like 2 against City. I don't know. When it's a Kante playing in the right system, that Lampard one we don't count. I feel like he generally flourishes. Like I feel like he scored at Stamford Bridge against them, and when we play them when we lost 2-1, it's like we're gonna have to like our best joy is nicking them in possession when they're exposed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think as long as look, I have this fear with our twin sixes whenever we go up 3-man midfield, because I simply feel like they're just outgunned. They're just outmanned, right? They just don't have enough. Because
why do they look like that was faster than us today?
No, I'm saying unless we don't have Mason Mount in that position, I get a little scared, because they need someone else to come down and help them with the press. And
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing? Like, everyone did not clock this during that game. Can we stop playing from the back, please? Because I've hated multiple times.
I honestly don't mind playing from the back.
Sometimes.
When we got fucking Thiago Fabregas in the back 3, spraying passes all over the sides of the pitch like this.
But sometimes we can pick it up though. Like sometimes it's
you can't know, because the problem with that is at least if you're playing out from the back, as long as you're smart with it. If you're giving a ball away and you're stupid, then but if you clear it, you're giving the ball away. Unless you've got a Giroud up top to hold that ball, you're just going to, like, especially because they had Pepe and Mbemba. Like, Havertz is not keeping the ball if you launch it up to him against those 2. And it'll be the same against City with, I imagine, Stones and Diaz, especially Diaz. You're not going to keep the ball if you're just lumping up and then you're just turning over possession every time. So at least if we're playing out from the back, as long as you're smart with it, obviously, like the Mendy is what it is. But I'd rather us play out from the back than just hoof it up all the time, because you're just going to keep putting yourself under pressure.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying hoof it up all the time. I'm not saying hoof it up all the time, but there's some instances where we tried to play out when it, like in this context, or even sometimes where I saw Reece James get the ball and try to play out, just kick it down. It's game management. Just kick it in their corner, reset, get your shape back. I'd rather lose it over there at their box than lose the ball and turn it over possession in that midfield or in that box sometimes. You feel me? Just sometimes, you feel me? Not like all the time, because you're gonna put yourself in constant pressure with that.
I mean, but we did that today, though. We did that today. Like, obviously we slipped up with the.
I think we got what we like. That slip up made us like, okay, sometimes kick it out.
After that, exactly. But it's all about discipline, to be honest, because when you're playing out from the back, it's personal errors that cause you to turn the ball over. Sometimes, if a team is smart enough and they pressure you at the right time, which is what we try to do, right? Then you could get fully pressured and just give the ball away because there's no one to pass it to. But most of the time, it comes from personal mistakes where you don't pass it to the proper player, or the ball's not played correctly, and then that's when you mess up. So as long as the players keep their discipline and keep their concentration, I don't mind. And it's the way to
what I will say is, what I will say is the fact that playing from the back thing, if we have somebody like Christensen in that game, I think it could have gone a lot different. The fact that we look more organized, we look more, united, I would say. Because in that first half, I just think we were too casual again with some of our passes, even though we're 2-0 up. And
Do you think it was more we were just playing more possession orientated though?
We didn't really have possession.
I think it was
because we were getting pressed.
Yeah.
Breathe, bro. Our aim was to retain possession for the most part.
Yeah, but I said this.
Can I ask what is our objective in this game before coming to this game? What are we trying
not to lose?
Are we trying to hold on, or are we trying to get another goal and then?
This game specifically, I think it was we try and maintain possession, and then
it was a case of just do not lose, do not concede.
They were simply just trying to keep their structure. If you look at the runs that we were making, except for that one time when Kante was all the way, when he got the ball outside the box and made that run, they were all sitting in their positions. They weren't really moving out of position.
I also think it would change from half to half because the first half I think was very much just don't concede, soak up pressure, do whatever you need to do. Whereas the second half was very much maybe nick something now, go at them a little bit, try and maybe get a goal, try and maybe do a little bit of magic here or there. And you saw the little switch because in the first half, the ball retention was a bit poor. We didn't really connect that well in terms of the front three and the midfield. But in the second half, it was so much better and it looked a lot smoother in when we were transitioning. Yeah. And I think that thing, and I think that's where it, as I said earlier, it's just you having the ways you can play where you can go from a defensive style of play to an offensive style like that, and it's very simple and it works. I think that's a useful thing to have because not many teams have that. I'd say in the league, I'd say City can do it sometimes, but then you look at the personnel they've got. I'd say Leicester can do it, but not all the time. And bar that, I wouldn't say anyone else has got that ability. Liverpool don't with their system. United do, but I think that's more because the players they have. So yeah, I just think.
Repeat that ability. What?
What do you mean? What, United?
No. You said these teams have the ability to. I'm just saying, what was the ability?
I was in to go from playing like a defensive style of football to playing an offensive style of football, really like seamlessly in a game. I think that very few teams in this league have that ability, just because of either the style they play, like Liverpool, that's not their style, or because of the people they've got. Like Man United can do that, but that's because of the players they've got, not because the manager. City do that, but again, at times, but again, City have the players and more often than not play just attacking football anyway. Leicester can do it, but not all the time. So I think it's good having that ability.
I agree.
I got a couple quick points, and I'll jump off of here because I gotta get back to work pretty
Love
soon.
to see you anyway, man. Hope everything's good.
Luckily the game got over just in time for me to go on my lunch break, so we're good. First of all, we did miss Kova in the transition from offense to defense. Okay, he's for what Kante is. Kova's a better close quarters dribbler, and he's able to progress the ball that way. That's not Kante's strength. Let's be real. Not to say he can't do it, but it's not his strength. The second thing is we make the mistake all the time saying, "Well, this lineup did A against Crystal Palace, so it's going to do the same thing against Porto." Well, Porto is not the same team as Crystal Palace. They weren't set up to play the same way as Crystal Palace. So don't think that you have one result that's going to end up as the same result in the next match. It's all about matchup. I think that we didn't see rotation up top because he wanted to go with the hot hands, right? Because we played so well and meshed so well together, that's why he wanted to stay with those three. But at the end of the day, we did what we were supposed to do. We did not lose by more than 2 goals. That's all we had to do. And sometimes you have to manage ties to get where you're going. So we didn't play exactly 10 out of 10. We're still moving on to the next round. Okay.
Practice in the matrix, bro.
I think to that point, like one of the criticisms of Pep Guardiola over the last few years when City have gone out is he does change it up far too much in these games. He tries to tinker with it too much. He tries to, like last year, go 3 at the back against Lyon, which made no sense, seeing as they hadn't played that like hardly at all like the rest of the season. I think your point about like going with what is hot and going with what just makes sense. I think that's an underrated thing, because too many times you see managers try and tinker with it too much, and it just goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, it does. But again, I don't think we were looking to overcommit on offense. If you look, we weren't even pressing really high, except for here and there. I think Tuchel wanted to keep it compact and make them beat us, which they did, but they didn't do it by the amount that you had to do to move forward. And that's all we were looking to do today. Who cares if we lost this game, as long as they didn't score 2 goals?
And we press them. We press them like, you know, when you're like really hungover and you're just pressing your girl like.
Johnny,
one of them ones.
question.
You get the job done. You know what I mean?
Johnny got a question. Did Mason Mount play as a false 8?
What? Do I
Yes,
play
he
the
would
red?
have actually. Yes, he would have.
Mason
Am I
Mount plays
taking the red pill or the blue pill, Fata? Is it the red pill or the blue pill, bro?
It's entirely up to you.
I'll take the blue pill, bro.
My son said Ramadan settings.
Love it. Yeah,
So
big
wait.
up, lads. Big up.
Everyone thinks Jorginho is the man of the match.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
We think Jorginho.
Well,
I think
Aspi
is a candidate.
I was going to say, I
Does
feel
my mic
there's a
sound good?
good shout.
Does my mic sound good?
I'd say there's.
Is it bad?
Yeah, I don't think Pulisic was really important today.
What?
Somebody lost their
Bro.
mind.
Bro,
Xavi, he was fouled 11
I'm-
times this game.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, I don't think that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he should be one of the man of the matches. Like, you feel me?
Well,
I
you
think
saying
it had to be
Pulisic should be a man of the match?
Yeah, I feel
Jorginho
like he was very important today. Like dribbling out the pressure, getting those fouls. Those fouls are crucial, man. We like to take the rest. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised nobody has mentioned his name. That's what I'm not saying.
I felt that the chances that he said it's unlucky that he missed that, especially that Reece James in the first half. He could have buried the tie straight away.
Do you not agree, though? Do you not agree that if AC was on, we wouldn't have conceded the goal, and therefore he would have got man of the match because our defense didn't
Yes,
concede it?
correct. Thank you very much. You're ready. Now let's go.
You started him
Thing
off.
is, we don't have Richard, so we are going to start this propaganda. Let's go.
Do you know what? If we go Champions League final, we win it. The only contenders for the Ballon d'Or will be Mason, Paul Mount, and AC, bro. They're the contenders for
Whoever
Ballon
wins
d'Or.
deserves it. If Mason Mount beats, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is.
He was good. Mason Mount was good though, Johnny, as playing as a false 8. Mason Mount was good though, playing as a false 8, Johnny. I can't lie.
Yeah, false 8, false 9, false 30.
He was okay though. I'm not gonna lie. He was alright. He wasn't so special. I mean, he just did his job.
He was there.
He did it. Everyone did their job. Everyone did their job. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying like I think Pussy was the match. I know Virginia was really good. Like
I heard that go. Hans bugging.
What's that, bro? You have Mike in a bit of madness.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Okay. Hey, Lewis, I'm going to jump off here. Appreciate you having me on again.
Yeah, no worries, man.
And
Thanks
good talking to my people across the pond. And we
Goodbye,
move
LA.
to Saturday. And when
Goodbye,
we
LA.
knock Man City out,
Yeah, let's do
it's
it.
going to be a big win on Saturday.
We move.
Yo, Lewis, can you put up the comment by Explosive Gamer 105?
One C player doesn't
It does.
and there are 11 other players.
It depends who that player is.
Kante,
Yeah, exactly. It's a matter of City or remember how Arsenal used to play, where like every single player has to touch the ball before they scored.
It's not even that though. It's like you look at times like this last season and this season where De Bruyne, like say it's De Bruyne that's playing there, De Bruyne will pick up the ball and Bernardo Silva will literally be a decoy for De Bruyne to whip crosses in or to play the ball.
No, I think Bernardo Silva is a dangerous player. Dangerous.
No, I agree.
No way!
I'm saying
Pulisic won man of the match.
Did he?
I really thought it would have been
There's nothing
Jorginho.
wrong with that. He was
he deserved it, man. He deserved it.
I'm not against that. Like, as I said, like for me, probably Jorginho did deserve it, but there was a few like as P Pulisic kind of was shouts for it.
I thought Chilwell was okay.
Chilwell wasn't. Not for, but first half, yeah. Second half, no. Like if we're being really critical, that goal that they scored came from him pressing when he didn't need to press. If he'd stayed in position, they don't have that chance.
I thought Aspie had a great game today.
Aspie was very solid, but again, like he always does this. He won't do anything spectacular, but he'll have a 7 out of 10 game. He'll just be solid.
Mr. Reliable.
He's very professional.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And I've said this for time when he was playing right back under Sarri and he wasn't doing well. When he was playing right back under Lampard and wasn't doing well, I said so many times, play him as a centre back or like a right centre back. He's brilliant there, and now we're seeing it. So again, I'll take apologies for that in the post as well. Thank you very much.
I genuinely think Pulisic now is he's gonna turn into like Messi for the last 8 games, man, of the season. Literally, he's gonna be our special player going forward. I really do think that.
No,
he is a special talent.
Just good job. Do it next week. Just stop.
He's done it 2 games in a row. He's done it 2 games in a row, Dax.
Ian, what have you done?
He's done it. He's done it.
Just let the man do it.
Yourself, Shane, man.
How does that?
Why are we arguing about Pulisic? I played a great game tonight.
Pulisic is a baller.
No, Ian. No.
Pulisic is a baller. He's the only player. We are going to win it. I said it in January, yeah? We're going all the way, lads. We're going all the way. Mason Mount is lifting that trophy, I'm telling you. Paul Mount is going to lift that trophy.
Thank God we have you guys. It keeps me level-headed.
Boy.
Why are we arguing, though, about Pulisic? Why?
Bro, it's not
a great little player.
Just hold your tongue. It's just leave the man.
Link, I'll send it over.
Like,
the thing about Pulisic is look like he is getting back to like Pulisic. I don't think he's quite there yet, but you could see like his momentum.
Like he's getting back there. Good job.
Yeah, but he is. He's been eased in. He's been eased in, Dags, at the right time. And now, listen. He was hacked. He was hacked this game. He was hacked like no one else. And he's still standing. He ain't injured, bro. And he's going to play semi-final against City. And he's going to back goals. It's facts, bro.
He's going to be
He's going to play against City. He's going to back goals.
Lionel Messi.
Danny, does he have the minerals?
Yeah, bruv. It's a metaphor, bruv. It's a metaphor, bruv. It's a metaphor.
Like your shades.
Yeah, Paul Mount. Paul Money Mount.
Look,
yeah, Pulisic was amazing today. Porto was like pretty much just hacking him.
He was the only one that could have scored, Pulisic. Like,
Pulisic almost did bag a goal. He almost did, man.
That was a beautiful ball by Zia Chadano to him.
Thank you.
That ball.
That would have been perfect.
I know. And then they scored a by C. It's a beautiful goal from Porto, but
Stags, bro. I'm not saying Pulisic is Messi, bro. What I'm saying to you is, in the last periods of the season, he turns up like last year. He turns up, bro, and he's deadly.
Pulisic knocked down something else.
He makes something happen out of nothing in the final third. Even when he dropped in deep, he was drawing fouls galore like Hazard used to do for us. We haven't got a player doing that. You know, we got to give him praise, bro.
I absolutely agree with you. I said Pulisic is getting back to where he was. Good job, keep it going.
Yeah.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves. And then when something happens, hopefully it doesn't, right? We're going to be sitting here like, so
what, when he's injured? Are you saying when he gets injured, you're saying like let's not get ahead of him?
When a bad performance comes up, when it just so happens that he doesn't do as well, it's just gonna be like it's unnecessary. Like,
well, today was bad. Today wasn't a good performance. We just got the job done.
I think the only most fun of those games.
Let me say this. Maybe had he, you know that Reece James shot, right? Like where it just grazed across the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
Had he, because he was in position there. I don't know why he didn't slide, or I don't know why he didn't stick it out.
No, it's Craig coming on.
But Pulisic had that angle to try and tap it into the goal. Had he made an attempt at it, I would be as excited as you are. But just seeing that, I'm like, okay, maybe he just There's something still missing. So I just want him to find that, and then I'll be on the same boat. But until then, good job, keep it going.
but that was because I think that's. Hold on. That's because he played 90 minutes the last game. He played 90 minutes the last game. And he played 90 minutes the last game. I think if he didn't play 90 minutes and he played, say, 70 minutes, he probably would have got to that and banged it in. More than likely.
But then he played 90 minutes today, too.
Yeah, I know. But, he didn't score, but he did everything else for the team.
I know, but I wouldn't...
It was a team performance by Pulisic today. I
wouldn't say he's tired if he played 90 minutes today, too. That's not an excuse.
No. Against the City game, you would say if he doesn't have a good performance, he'll probably get subbed off at some point in the game because it will be due to fatigue more than likely.
Yeah, I agree.
we got a squad to use anyway. Like it does
we're not. Look, the point I'm making is he's coming back to what we all know. We know he did last season. He's getting closer and closer to that, and I'm excited for that because he gives us a different type of ammunition up front and in the team. But if he doesn't, it's not like we're reliant on that.
I agree.
We can still win games.
The only thing I said was let's put a period right there. Let's stop right there. Right there.
All right, Kazi, I see you. I've already sent you a link, bro.
I can hear delay or echo. Or
yeah, I can hear that too. I don't listen to streams or nothing, and I have a headset on.
Can't be me.
I do hear it. It's like someone's playing something.
Was there a fight after the game? I turned off the game.
Yeah. I couldn't understand why Porto players are like crying and fighting over that because they didn't visit over it.
To be fair, they're just bunch
crap,
of
bro.
They're just bunch of crybabies, so don't worry about
They're
it.
cheaters. That's the best thing they did in that game. They were cheating. Bro.
He was talking. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna beat them. We're gonna get them out of here."
Did he really
look
say
at Kazi. Finally, Kazi, you apologized.
Can I make a quick point before? Can I make a quick point? Yeah, that out of all the remaining teams, you've got PSG, potentially City are going to go through. So it'll be City, PSG, and then more than likely we're going to play Real Madrid. Out of those three sides, excluding us, obviously, out of those three sides, the team who I think is got the edge out of everyone would be a Real Madrid. And the reason I say Real Madrid is all of the most of their players that they've got in their side, they've all done it and won it 3 times in a row. They know what it takes to win the Champions League. If you look at City, they don't know. They haven't been there. If you look at PSG, they got to the final, but they ain't won it. Real Madrid are the only team that have won it and won it more than once in the last 5 years. So for that,
we have won. Aspie's still here.
No,
I
know.
Never won it.
Yeah,
Aspie never won it.
He'll be there the next season.
Hold on. But what I'm saying is, when everyone says, "Oh, we got the easier run," when I look at it like that, I don't think it is the easier run. If you know what I'm saying, I think it's quite fair. It's even.
I mean, it's a semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah. You got to play.
Eventually, you're gonna face a big side at some point.
It don't matter.
I still think we could beat them.
We've already faced a big side anyway.
I am fully praying that Liverpool somehow win this game.
Who, Atletico?
I don't want to play Real Madrid. I don't want to play Real Madrid.
Do you not know the history? Remember the history of us in Liverpool? And if they come back from Real Madrid, there's gonna be some sort of momentum.
I don't care. I will play Liverpool over Real Madrid. I want Liverpool over Real Madrid. They have no defenders. I would prefer no defenders.
They have Ramos and stuff.
I would prefer Kabak and Phillips over Ramos.
That's the thing.
Are you kidding?
Are
you messing with me?
No.
Are you serious?
How can you say you're scared of like Liverpool's defenders over Ramos and Ramos?
No,
he's saying the opposite.
Other way around.
Oh, I thought you were saying literally.
No.
Okay. I misheard you. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were trolling me.
Here we go.
With Liverpool as well, you know how to play them and beat them.
Yes, Kazi, bro. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Jorginho's Blasic today, bro. Chat to me.
Come on, you know how he gets, man. You know, I would have loved Jorginho, man. I would have loved him, you know. We've always been a big fan of him. Just giving him criticism, you know. I would have loved him, man. Just giving some criticism, man. I would have loved him.
Proper apologize to Jorginho.
I think you said those words. He needs to go next season.
No, man. I mean, what I meant, yeah.
You
What I
always say
meant,
he
yeah.
runs like he's in the desert.
No. What I meant, yeah. What I meant is that Junior needs to go and receive award from what's called from FIFA, man. That's what I meant by go, man. I didn't mean go next season, man. Come on, man. I would have loved Junior, man. I would have loved the guy, man. I would have loved the guy, man. Come on.
Yeah, right. Last
Elite-
stream he was talking mad crap about him.
Last season, yes. Last season, yes.
Last stream we had when we made the lineup with Monster. You and Jorginho was in there with Kante. He's like, get Jorginho out there, man. Oh man. You feel me? He was going off.
Bro, but listen, but Kante is a better player than Jorginho, though. Jorginho,
Yeah,
Kante is a better
yeah.
player than Jorginho.
Lewis,
Yeah.
someone in the comments.
But the thing about Jorginho, I want him in our squad next season. Even if he's not a starter, I still want him because he's a good player.
Nah, we need money.
We don't need money. We're Chelsea. Why can't we have 50 million players on the bench?
Because
I want us to be like City.
Because we have players like Billy Gilmore, we would develop.
Trying to be more sustainable.
He's more experienced than Billy Gilmore still.
He needs a loan, bro. He needs a loan, bro.
Goatmore's the future.
Hold on,
Goatmore is the future.
No, if we do sell Jorginho, why would we loan Billy?
No, I'm
saying keep Jorginho and loan Billy for a season.
No.
Why?
No, that's the more logical thing. That's more logical. If we're gonna go for the league,
one has 3-4 years of Premier League experience, and one has barely half a season. That's why.
I mean,
he's played 8 games. 8 games, guys. Realize 8 games.
We can all see how good Billy Gilmore is, but we need to push that Premier League title.
Gilmore needs a loan like Gallagher's got, where you go out, you see his quality, you see him playing week in, week out, you see how he's progressing, and then you bring him back to then take over from Jorginho in a couple years' time when Jorginho is like 31 at that point. He'll be 30 or like around 30, 31, where you can then move him on.
How much is Jorginho getting paid? Weekly.
I don't know how much he's on.
We don't need to keep him.
50k weekly. Jorginho's going to go to where Sarri goes. If he goes Napoli, wherever, he's going to go. He'll leave.
He's going Spurs, bro.
He ain't going.
That's a terrible appointment. I'll be real. That's a terrible appointment if he goes.
He won't go. He won't go Spurs. He won't.
I hope
They have not got the players for Sarri.
They have Inebele, Højbjerg, and what's called, and the likes of. That's about it.
They're all utility players.
They've got like in that team. That's a terrible appointment for Sarri and for Tottenham. That's a terrible appointment for both.
It's just like a match made in hell, really.
Yeah, you've got Sarri who he couldn't coach Juventus players. He couldn't coach the players at Juventus into how to play.
To do Sarri,
he ain't going to coach fucking Lamella, Sissoko, and Winks how to play.
Sissoko, mate. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
He's the only player he's got is Ndombele, man. That's
and
it.
Harry Kane and
Harry Kane.
Man. Harry Kane's fucking off, mate.
Harry Kane coming to Chelsea.
Nah,
man. I don't want his brisket ankles around here, please.
I don't think Levy will want to do a business with Chelsea Football Club.
No. He won't.
But if they see the money, they could.
Nah. Why would you want to sell a best asset for this football club?
Listen. We will go. We will put down 150 million, and Levy will go. I want 150. I want 155, and Roman's going to go. Fuck you. That's what's going to happen.
No, but the thing is, if Harry Kane wants, like, if Harry Kane makes a move and says, "I want to leave," then I think it's more open.
He's a Spurs boy, man. He won't take his club like that, man. Come on, he won't do that. Already,
he has said he's considering if they don't get Champions League football, he will consider to leave, and I don't blame the guy, man.
I don't think he'll force.
He needs to win stuff.
Years old. He's waited too long.
He's got to go, man. He's got to leave this year. He has to leave.
Yeah, Jorginho got to go.
I actually respect him as a player, so he does need to go, like, just to win something because he does deserve it.
He's got to go. He's got to come Chelsea and lift the
Premier League.
Even
Son, do you know the level of bants that we could run if we take Harry Kane and give him some silverware and a legacy?
Wow.
Another Ashley Cole, bro. Another Ashley Cole, man. We've been better, man.
Tottenham fucking successful at Chelsea. You love to see it.
Tottenham will never be
just like just to piss Levy off as well, just to piss him off and take that money, take his best player, all right? Because without Kane, they ain't getting the goals, and without the goals, they're gonna. I don't know, they're just gonna go deeper, aren't they? Just gonna sink.
Did you guys know that Pogba's on a free this summer?
Pogba?
I can't hear anything.
Mount or Ronaldinho?
Yo, Pogba will be lovely in the side. I don't care what nobody says.
Free.
He's a box to box midfielder, man.
To Chelsea Ranger, we've got Mountdinho.
You really struggled with that one.
I did struggle. I did.
That one doesn't make sense.
I can't lie.
At least.
I can't lie. Mount would be good as a false 10 and false 8, though.
False 8.
Yeah, he would be good there, mate.
He'll be
pretty good there, wasn't he, man? So versatile, false 8 and shit. Come on.
That 2018 World Cup chemistry again, bro.
I heard
what the hell was that, man?
West
Brom score.
Final question. I'll ask everyone. Who do you guys want to see for the next round? Real Madrid or Liverpool? What are you guys feeling? Do you guys want or Madrid for the first time and Courtois getting packed in by one of our attackers?
Man, yeah, he's a fucking snake, man. We need to get that. I want to get Madrid just to kill him, mate.
I'll go around the
fight past his net, man. End his career, man. End his career, man.
Damn right. Light him up.
4 years kept, man.
I'll go around Madrid. I can't lie. Why are we scared of Real Madrid? Real Madrid has nothing with that Ronaldo.
You're having a bubble. You're actually having a bubble.
Alright, who's next?
That is scary.
Well, that is so disrespectful. So
who's next? Who's next?
I don't care if they win La Liga last season.
Hold on. How many Ballon d'Or winners are in that Liverpool team right now?
None.
So what, man? So what?
None.
So what, man?
What are you talking about?
What?
Someone wins the best player of the year award.
Modric was not the best player of the year. Modric was not the player of the year that year. I don't care what anyone says, man.
He didn't deserve it.
He ran into FIFA. He stole it right there, man.
I will say he didn't deserve Ballon d'Or, but
I'd rather Real Madrid too because that'd be the easy option.
Listen. I have fought that argument. Hold on. I have fought that argument for the longest.
Lewis, it doesn't matter who we have. We're getting to the final anyway. It doesn't matter.
No, we're not.
I say, genuinely, hand on heart or hand on my badge, on the Chelsea badge, that I do not fear any side, and Tuchel will do. He's got the minerals to get us to that final.
Lewis, was the question who do we want to face or who do we think we're going to face?
Want.
I want Liverpool. We're going to face Real Madrid. I want Liverpool.
Don't you think that Liverpool are going to be chasing Champions League if they're not going to make the top 4?
Yeah, but so are Madrid.
Scott. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I understand that, Scott. But aren't you worried? Yeah, we know the history of Liverpool and Chelsea before and the semi-finals and stuff. Yeah, but
hang on.
There's another reason. Like if they come back at Real Madrid with the momentum, aren't you a bit worried about Liverpool more?
No, because again, you've got to go back and look at Madrid in Europe. It doesn't matter what they're doing domestically. Madrid in Europe is a different animal. It's a different animal. They played go watch that Liverpool match from last week. That midfield three played like they were playing a training match. They played at 60% and they battered them.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
They
play a highlight. They play a highlight.
I don't want to face that midfield. That midfield will ruin us.
I
don't think it's going to be as bad as you're making it out.
I think our defense will handle them. That's my thing.
Real Madrid than Liverpool.
I want to play the best teams, though. I want to play the best teams to get to the final.
Exactly.
Yeah, no matter what,
I want to be good
teams to play.
Yeah, but
I feel like we're making it seem like as if it's impossible to beat Real Madrid. It's not impossible to beat Real Madrid. It's just harder.
Lewis, don't you want to put Modric, Benzema, and all these players in the penitentiary? I want them in my penitentiary, in the Mount Penitentiary, and you should have it in the AC.
They're gonna make Mount look like a little boy.
We don't care about Liverpool. Liverpool are nothing this year.
Exactly. So
I'd have to put Hazard into the penitentiary.
If that is what it is, man.
I'm glad me and Dak are on the same wavelength here. Me and Dak are completely on the same wavelength here.
It's so confusing. It's so confusing.
I have a question. What?
How do you do that, Father?
Realistically, if we look at it, I mean, we're going to get real. Look, Kante must play that game. Simply put, he must play that game. That is the first name on the team sheet. And whatever attack is possible at the time, needs to play that game.
What about three?
We can't do none of this.
Mount,
if we're going up against Real Madrid,
no, we can't have a three midfield, can we?
Yeah, you could do.
What is it?
But the thing is, though, Liverpool have a better front three to me, in my opinion, except for like Benzema. But then Real Madrid have a better midfield. You know what I mean? So it's either what would
if you starve their midfield, to starve their attack is by you got to close down their midfield.
Is trash, man. This season.
You got to stop their midfield. You got to stop Modric and Kroos, man. You got to stop.
Xavi, for me, it's this, right? We hardly score goals as it is. Okay. Against
hold on. What's that noise in the background?
This is
I can hear it.
Definitely out for the
I heard echo.
Kovacic is out.
No, I hear it
Mike,
stream.
man. Washing machine, Mike, man.
I hear a stream of what?
I think it's Yakub or whatever his name is.
It's Yakub Hendricks. Mute him. Yeah.
Cool. But look, look, we already struggled to score goals. We saw that very evidently to get today. We didn't really create anything, right? Against Phillips and Kabak, we are guaranteed. We are guaranteed at least one.
The way you said that, man.
Against Ramos, Casemiro, and the rest of them, I don't know how much we're gonna get. I can't promise you.
Make a good point.
I think our game. We'll raise our game, Dags. We will raise our game.
We're not good at finishing as well.
I definitely hear that. You are right. We probably are guaranteed one goal against Liverpool.
Now that I think about it, though, it's like when I think about the experience of Real Madrid, it's just like I'd rather take my chances.
The only way we are going to beat Real Madrid is if we are simply more youthful than them. Like the power of youth, literally.
No. All right. What about this then? What about this then? Yeah. What about if Liverpool actually knock out Real Madrid, bruv, and they go on an absolute wonder game tomorrow, and they they bag 3 goals, Mane, Firmino, and Salah. Are you going to feel the same way?
Who's your Bob, bro? Who's the
Do you not have earphones? Do you not have earphones?
Do you guys think that? Do you guys think that Dortmund could do
Look, can you who's this man in the background?
Who is this, bro?
Who's got the noise in the background?
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
The comment by Oscar. He said, pull it up real quick. He said, Dak said we struggle to create no Hudson-Odoi tax.
Oscar, I sent you a link, bro. Hop on, man.
That's what I asked him last week, right? The attacking 3 that we put, the same one that we used today, right? Except we didn't have Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, then we kind of struggled in that area.
Yeah, I agree. Hudson-Odoi is a right wing back against a Liverpool Real Madrid. I'm down for it because
No.
Reece James.
Bro, did you see Mendy in the Liverpool game?
Yeah.
Mendy was playing as a left winger. I'm not having Reece James plays like that every day.
Reece James. I need someone to pack. I need a defender inside him, man. Please.
My point is, if Liverpool go and knock out Real Madrid, right, and Mane and Salah have an unbelievable game, all right.
My point still stands.
Yeah, but listen. Yeah, but you got to have in the
Robertson and Mane, bro. Robertson and Mane.
Come on,
Johnny, are you on about against Liverpool?
Yeah, if
didn't Reece James play against Liverpool last time? We won 1-0.
Listen, let me land. If Liverpool actually go and turn over Real Madrid, where really it's unthinkable that they will. I mean, Real Madrid should go ahead and win the tie. It's one of those European nights again, and they get through and they do it. Do you not fear that? Do you not feel like Liverpool might?
Johnny, let me put it to you this way. Where can we get at Liverpool? Like, where can we get at them?
Defensively.
Like where like in terms of just the way they play or players we can get at.
Wingers.
We get at that back line, yeah? Trent, Kabak, Phillips. Where'd you get at Real Madrid?
Oscar, this one's for you, bro.
The thing about Real Madrid, yeah, like their defense will definitely be strong, but I don't really fear their attack.
Ramos back, Varane back. Where do you get at their defense? Where do you get?
No,
at
Barca
it?
was getting at their
The
defense.
wings.
Yeah, cool.
Mendy,
Who's their right back now?
Vasquez.
Carvajal still. Carvajal. still
Vasquez. It's like Lucas Vasquez.
Oh no, Vasquez is playing there recently, isn't he? Yeah. But even so, like, fair enough, maybe Vasquez, but that you're kind of mid to maybe. Liverpool, you know, if you play a certain way, you can get at them. Trent is not good defensively. Kabak, not good enough. Phillips, not good enough. Like, Liverpool can be got at. I don't see where you get at this Real Madrid team, personally. I don't see where it happens.
No, in all fairness, you do make valid points,
that midfield needs one chance. And Benzema needs one chance.
Modric, guys. Modric and Kroos, man. I'm sorry. Did you see them? Do you see them play football?
Are you putting Kante on a Modric then? Is that what you're saying?
Modric is too precious, man.
Can I say, like,
Modric?
Like, yeah, like,
there's
he's
two versus
Scott
one.
and Dags.
It's 2 versus 1.
Scott and Dags.
Guys, you understand? Yeah,
I
Modric
got
has been one of the most press resistant players in the world right now, man.
Who?
That guy Modric, man. He can't be pressed, man. Like you can try to get Kante on him, man. But he's so hard to press, man.
To be honest, another way that we might be able to beat them is if they make one if they make mistakes, and 2, we are going to need some divers. I'm talking some scuba divers in that game.
Yo, Real Madrid
go down in that box, man.
Werner could be good for that, but
I don't give a no one else.
Can I say something?
Chelsea football club, man, and they're playing.
We're not underestimating them, man. We're just saying how good that team, is a lot better. The midfield, is a lot better than whatever we have.
No, it's more experience. It's just more experience. It's more experience.
But the thing is, Real Madrid can be got at though.
They're not the side they were 3 years ago. They're not that side.
Can I just add something really quickly? But
they're more experienced. I'll give them that for sure. And they've been there and done it, and I've said that. They know what it takes to win the Champions League. They've done this competition 3 times in a row. That's what's dangerous about them. I don't actually think that it's because they're still that great side, because they've got flaws in their side. They're not as potent up front as they were with Ronaldo and Bale.
God, I implore you to go and rewatch that Liverpool match.
Vinicius Junior is an absolute bottle job when it comes to that final shot.
Liverpool.
Yeah, but he needs a lot. But Liverpool are shit compared to us. Like Liverpool, we are better defensively than Liverpool. We are.
Modric, they have the final ball in us, though. They have the final ball as well, man.
Madrid play a high line too sometimes. They play. They're way more. I mean, Liverpool's open too. I'll take my chance. I'm not saying I wouldn't take my chance against Liverpool. I'm saying I don't think Real Madrid is still a class team.
They have a random Ramos,
but they're not. They can be got.
Who the fuck is Vinicius and Benzema in this game?
They have Ramos. They have Varane and Ramos.
Say something about
a high
Real
line
Madrid.
with Varane and Ramos. Yeah.
And Luka
Ramos
Modric,
injured, though.
his ass has already been locked up.
Oh,
I ain't hearing now.
more-
Kroos can go join his brother too.
Isn't Ramos injured?
Ramos.
It's more of a.
Ramos
Scott,
is
anyway, to Scott and Dax.
Ramos and Varane.
Okay, if we get Real Madrid, and that's most likely. If we beat them, aren't you more confident into the final if we beat a Real Madrid? Anyway,
absolutely.
I would.
Yeah, but I'm not confident we beat them. That's my point. If we beat them, fair enough. I'm on cloud 9. I think we can win the whole thing, but I don't think we beat them. I think we beat them.
Scott, what if they play like crap against Liverpool tomorrow?
Then we get an easier team then. We get an easier team then.
Because if they play crap against Liverpool, I think Liverpool will win. But I don't see them playing crap against Liverpool.
But that's what I'm saying. If
if they play crap, then we face Liverpool in the semis, and I prefer that.
That's not true, because they could play crap and lose like 1-0 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Guys, so what? They can still turn up good against us. Even if they lose 1-0, they can still turn up good against us.
But I'm saying, with that, I think you're going off the way they ball Liverpool at the park. That extra, it kind of scared you. You feel me? Like, they really ball Liverpool at the park, but.
Because I haven't seen us play like that in quite some time, man. I've not seen us give a performance like that.
I'm looking at how their midfield's playing. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking how they're.
Did you watch them against Barca?
No, I didn't watch that game.
That's what I'm saying.
I did.
I mean,
I
it's
did.
two
I did.
different like forms.
Oh, what a goal!
Europe,
Yeah, but
and,
you're comparing again. Domestic football's different to European.
that's what I'm
football.
saying. There's two different forms, but they haven't been. I just
But
think
they turn up. They turn up though. They turn up.
Yeah, but all right. If Henderson was in that midfield, do you think it would be different?
No, they'll still get packed, man. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
bit different.
it would be different.
A little bit, but not that much. A little bit, but not that much.
Liverpool are not as like. That's why I would take them.
Guys.
Like right now, they're not the Liverpool of old.
Shoving.
But the way like they got balled out, that's a Liverpool team that has like no confidence in not playing at the top of their game.
Can I say this real quick, by the way? What's cool about this year? For me, like even.
Yeah, and we are confident.
Liverpool
and we feel like we can beat anyone.
Let me just finish, man. Even what's called the way
that's dangerous.
It's not really about what's called about the team oppositions. The way how they move the ball around, man. The way how they pass, where the midfield, the way how they think at times, man. Like it was so continuous, man. Cruz was picking up pass multiple times, and
Are you talking about against Liverpool?
Yeah, against Liverpool, man. Like
we don't play like that though. Liverpool play open.
Liverpool are open. We're compact.
Do you see us here against Varane and Ramos, who are making bare chances? Even if they play a high line, let's say they play a high line. Do you see us creating bare chances against what's called? We struggle to create chances against Porto. So what about Varane and Ramos, man?
But the way we had to play Porto this game, and we're like mixing.
No, I'm talking about in the last game, in the reverse fixture, our midfield wasn't good. Our midfield was open.
Facts.
I mean, they definitely have a superior midfield, but then the thing is. If they're not controlling the game, they're very susceptible. Like, you feel me? They have to be controlling that game.
But how are we gonna stop?
Look, we're going to completely put that down.
You act like our players are absolute dog shit, bro.
I'm not saying that.
I'm talking about casual.
The three in the back is going to be our saving grace.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we have that one extra defender back there is gonna help us a lot.
Exploding them on the wing.
Sorry, Oscar, but I was sorting out the thumbnail for the phone. And what are you saying, man?
Nice reminder, man. What's going on, guys? Very, very happy to be in the semi-finals. I'm actually buzzing.
Hudson Odoi was missing, man. You got to preach these guys, man. I beg you, just preach to them about Hudson Odoi, man.
Bro, I've done my preaching, man. You lot already know what it is. You lot already know. Shout out to the Show Hive, Saka, Greenwood, Martinelli, Sweden. They levels for us, boy. You know what I mean?
So we out here.
Let's go.
I would start James today.
I don't think it was James. I don't think James is the move. I think it was in the attacking third that we couldn't keep the ball. We didn't really do anything when we got the ball there. So many times.
Shouldn't he come on in the last 10 minutes? You reckon?
No.
Yeah, I would.
Probably actually.
VX earlier.
Give him a minute of last 10. I'm not saying that you can start first.
But just on the conversation you lot are just having now, I think I would prefer to face Real Madrid than Liverpool. Can you not hear me?
We can hear you, but you're going to need to explain yourself because me and Scott have not heard a single actual proper argument. It just
you guys just don't want to face Real Madrid.
You're not gonna listen. Kazi,
what do you mean?
Kazi's woken up. Go on.
Wait, what do you mean proper argument about facing Real Madrid?
Yo, guys.
No, about.
Okay, no, like, okay. I'm not saying. Yeah, okay. I'm not saying Liverpool's a better side than Real Madrid because they're not. Like, and yeah, they win Champions League. They're elite in the Champions League, of course. But the one thing I do like Liverpool, they got a very good attack. Yeah, they got shaky defense. And when we play Liverpool, we seem to struggle in history-wise.
They just scroll up.
Yeah, it's not even just history.
And there's one more other reason. If we beat Real Madrid like I think we will anyway, it gives me more confidence into the final. It just does.
Hold on. Let me say this.
I don't see a speed.
Hold on, real quick though. If Liverpool come back to beat Real Madrid, and then we beat them, how does that not give you more confidence than beating Real Madrid?
Well, I'm not saying I still know me. I would still be confident anyway, but it's like you said, they got a shaky defense, and we could exploit that for our own gain. And we got a good defense.
Sure, guys, we could get back.
I'm way more afraid if Liverpool come back.
I respect both teams anyway. I respect both teams. So
yeah,
of course.
If Liverpool come back, I'm more afraid of Liverpool if they come back because that could catapult their season.
I disagree, man.
Yeah, man. Can you not hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, my point is just like Liverpool have beaten us so many times over the past 2 seasons. Like we've been battered by Liverpool certain times, and the only time we beat them was when okay, in the FA Cup as well, but then they played a weakened side. And then when they were on that horrible run at Anfield, they were losing to like Fulham and all these teams, and then we went and beat them. I think if Liverpool get back into their stride and start, getting results out like they did against Aston Villa, and the players start clicking again, and if they, like Chris is saying, if they beat Real Madrid, they're going to be on a whole new wave. And they've got the best fixtures running for the top 4. So they're going to be winning those games, and it's just going to give them confidence.
Maybe. That's debatable.
Salah, Mane, all those players to get back in their stride and become the team that they were before this whole meltdown happened. So I think Champions League could rejuvenise like their season. They've had a horrible season. If they win the Champions League, everybody forgets about everything. So, and they have the players to do it. They've got Mane, they've got Salah. These are the same players that won it 2 years ago. So I'm not trying to hear
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
And then y'all make the point about like domestic and European football is different. You can make the point for Liverpool. It's different for them too.
You can make it both.
You can't deny it. Real Madrid's a different beast without Ronaldo. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like,
I'm sorry, man. There's too much respect on these guys, man. I'm sorry, man.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Hold on. The way Real Madrid plays, they play cross. They cross a lot. Like they're just a better. They're basically like a better version of us. That how we were like 2 years ago.
No, they're not, man. No, they're not.
Liverpool cross a lot.
Cross a lot, man.
And then
Real Madrid crosses a lot, bro.
Nah, man.
You just have a good midfield.
Nah, you're putting too much respect on this guy's name, man. Too much respect, man.
On whose name?
On what to say they cross. They just cross a lot better than us on the Lampard, man. Like this idea.
You say
Modric is one of the best CMs this decade, man. He's one of the best CMs this decade. He still has something. I've seen what's called Real Madrid they don't even perform in La Liga, man. Like look at the last the last decade, man. They don't perform in La Liga, man. They turn up in the CL. They turn up in the. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to face them when they turn up in the CL. I don't want to see that from them. I don't want to see them turn up, man.
He got the most deadly Deadpool assister.
I mean, last time Tuchel played him, he beat him 3-0. I don't know if that could be a
and also, it's just like that we've never.
They played with Mbappe and Neymar.
It's very basic. For me, it's very basic. It's Kabak and Nat Phillips, Varane, Ramos. It's very
exactly,
simple.
man. Love that, man. It's a buffet, man. It's a buffet, man, for us.
It's you can get at Liverpool, you can't get at Real Madrid. For me, there's less ways to get at Real Madrid than there are at Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not you can't get at Real Madrid. It's not you can't get at
harder.
Real
It's hard to get at them.
It's more that there's far less ways of getting at Real Madrid than there are Liverpool. Liverpool,
but don't you think Real Madrid are thinking the same thing about us?
Yeah.
Like our defense is way better than Liverpool's defense. We're going to be harder for them to break down. I watched Real Madrid throughout the group stages, and they were conceding goals for fun. They conceded 3 against Shakhtar.
I feel like they're going off that.
Yeah.
They were doing stupid stuff in the group stages, and I'm just like, these guys ain't like one of the best teams in Europe. They're not like top 3. They're not.
We barely create chances, though. We barely create chances, man.
They were also doing bad in the league, but now they're
Porto.
How many goals did Real Madrid concede in the Champions League? We conceded like 3
create chances, though. But we can barely create chances, though.
Back then, when what Oscar was talking about against Shakhtar and that, they were not doing well in La Liga either. So their entire season was in shambles right there. Now they're sitting top of the league. They're sitting top of the league. They just beat Liverpool, and they're getting on this run, which is, they have champions in their team. So it's not like they have young players like we do, where they can just fall off again. Once they hit their feet, they hit the stride.
But Dags, that was my point. That's why they are, in my opinion, they are the harder team to beat out of all the teams remaining. Real Madrid are the hardest because they've got the experience in champions in a team that's won the Champions League. That is why I'm not saying that they are the best Real Madrid of the last 5-6 years, because they're not. But when you've won it and you've done it, that's like the X factor. So if we beat Real Madrid, we will win the Champions League.
100%, Johnny.
Let us go.
Can I tell you why that doesn't make sense? Liverpool won the Champions League with the exact same team they have now. The only addition is Thiago, who also won the Champions League. This Real Madrid team has players that play bit part roles in the Champions League wins. They've got like Vinicius Junior. He's not a Champions League winner. Like there's other people who factor into that. They haven't been a Champions League winner.
Oscar, they got Benzema, Modric, Kroos, Sergio Ramos. They got backbone, bro.
Modric was the best player.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Like, what midfield would you guys play against? I'm gonna ask each one of you. Which midfield you guys to play against Real Madrid?
Jorginho and Kante.
I'm playing Kovacic.
You don't play Kovacic.
He knows those players better.
You don't play
than
Kovacic.
anyone.
So you have Kovacic and Kante.
No, you play Jorginho and Kante. You don't.
Bro, Kovacic knows that midfield like anyone, better than any of us.
He's still hacking them down. You can know them. He's still not hacking them down.
Main strength. Kovacic's main
He's
strength.
not hacking them down, bro. You can know them all you want, man. He's not hacking them down.
Kovacic's main strength is beating a press. Real Madrid don't press. That midfield.
They don't press.
So if he's not got a press to beat, he doesn't have a final ball.
But don't you think
he's not as effective?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not going to beat the press, but he can still draw players in and like move and progress us up the field.
He ain't drawing players in. He's not drawing. Modric and Kroos will just sit and tell him, "You come to us. You come to us." That's what they did against Liverpool. They were like, "You come to us."
Because Real Madrid haven't got the legs to press. They haven't got it.
Actually, no.
And I'll tell you what. Actually, hold on. The fact that they don't press us, right? It's harder to break down a team that sits back. Is it or is it not? When a team sits back,
they counter-attack.
Well, they're going to sit back and
counter-attack. You have to sit back.
You have to sit back. That's harder.
Bro, because
that's harder for us.
We tend to
struggle against low blocks to create. But we're not conceding goals as well. So it works both ways. I mean, they might have to rely on getting like 2-3 chances in the whole game, and they have to bag one, and it works the same for us as well, and that's why it's going to be a great time.
But the problem is, look, I agree with you if the 3 chances you're talking about lands to Vinicius. I disagree when those 3 chances land to Benzema, right?
We don't know. We can't say. We can't.
To be fair, as well,
that's fine. But I could say the same thing for Salah.
I mean, of course, no. I don't.
Look at Bayern Munich tonight, Dags.
I just kind of watched Real Madrid over again. I want Liverpool.
You know what? If we get Real Madrid, we're just gonna stick it to Courtois and just bag goals past him.
Xavi, do you want what's called Real Madrid again? Yeah.
I said I want Liverpool now. I kind of watched it back. Liverpool, Real Madrid is playing some ball, bro.
If Real Madrid's the test of where if we face them, we're facing.
It's almost like a final. It's more like
I was going to say, I think I said this on one of Flawless's streams, but I genuinely think they can win it. And I think if we face Real Madrid, it's a case of we're facing a team where if we beat them, we should be up there as like a favourite to win. Absolutely. No worries. But the question was, who would you rather face? And I'd rather face Liverpool because they're the easier test to then get to.
But Scott, who would you rather lose to in the semi, Liverpool or Real Madrid? And you'd say Real Madrid all day. No, man, I don't want to lose to Liverpool.
Real Madrid. Yeah.
You know how much pain that's gonna be if we lose Liverpool in the semi final.
If we lose Liverpool, we'll never hit the end of it, man. We'll never hit the end of it, man.
Courtois knocking us out and Hazard potentially knocking us out. I'm good.
I
don't mind Hazard.
Courtois is a fraud, people.
No, you might not mind Hazard, but if he takes us out of the Champions League, we'll just break our hearts. And then Courtois celebrating will just be the finger into the wound and twist. So I'm good.
Maybe
fucking snake.
You'd rather Liverpool, Lewis. You'd rather Liverpool.
Maybe this is just me.
Smack Liverpool silly, bruv. Yeah. I'm saying
if we lost, Lewis, if we lost to
Liverpool, it would hurt. If we lost to Thibaut Courtois, I can't have that. No, fuck.
But we lost to him against
Maybe this is just me, but I wouldn't
that
care
rat
either
does
way.
not deserve the final laugh. He is not winning the Champions League on our scalp. Fuck that.
But then Hazard, though. What about Hazard,
Yeah,
Lewis?
you know what? Fuck it. On camera, I would rather lose to Liverpool. Bun that. Courtois ain't knocking us out.
Lewis, what about Hazard, though?
Courtois was a snake.
I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Courtois lift that title without her.
Madrid.
Courtois gave us 1 year of Kepa. He gave us 1 year of 58 goals conceded. 58 goals in the league conceded, man. That's what Courtois gave us, man.
Listen,
it hurt my heart.
The second Ronaldo left that club, I was so happy that Courtois decided to go. Because if they don't have Ronaldo, they're not really going to do much. Win the La Liga, go ahead. You can have that. I really don't care. But the Champions League, that's a different story. And let's be honest, if they go up against City or PSG, I don't see them beating City or PSG. But again, like what Johnny said about how if we beat Real Madrid, we are going to be the favorites, right? But if Liverpool beat Real Madrid and then we beat Liverpool, it's the exact same scenario because it still boosts our confidence and puts us as favorites.
Guys, I like how you guys are putting into perspective that City are safe here. Like, bro, like Dortmund could win tomorrow, guys.
But we're not
If Erling Haaland, generational talent, you just done something, man. Mad.
I think Dortmund might win. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be a pure Haaland game. Like if he wants, you remember how everyone heard of Mbappe, but no one really knew him until that World Cup, right?
Yeah.
It should be the same.
What? No.
I saw him at Monaco, bro. I saw him at Monaco. Yeah, he was very good, man.
Bro, Monaco was when he broke onto the
scene. Everyone knew about him, but not everyone knew about him. If you heard what I mean, like put him up.
No, we knew about him, man. When they beat Man City, everyone
Man City. Monaco won the league over PSG.
You personally rate him that highly? Like good job. Like I understand, I get it, but I'm saying for the normal.
More known after that World Cup.
For Americans, right?
Oh, not this American though.
So he won the World Cup, right?
Yeah, of course. They put him on the world stage.
But I'm saying like Haaland could have the same exact scenario if he puts in that world class performance in this one.
Generational talent, man. Performance. Where Messi did that 3 goals against Real Madrid.
But wait, what about PSG, yo? Because
his wages next year are going to be.
Wait, what about PSG?
They kind of screen
they should have destroyed Bayern.
For me, I think it's
PSG is just like it's wishy-washy.
To be fair,
sometimes they score none.
I think PSG are making a final. I think it's a Real Madrid PSG final for me personally.
Hey, Nick, can you just talk about Neymar's finishing in that game, man? Horrendous finishing by the way from that guy, man.
Oh, he still created most of this.
Shocking.
Scott, can I ask you a question?
Game,
you just said you think Real Madrid will make it to the final. So what do you think is our biggest weakness going against them if they win there?
Just the midfield. The midfield's our biggest weakness. Like, I feel as though we've seen at times, like this season, when our midfield has not performed. Like, not even just the West Brom game. You look at the Porto game last time where our midfield, it wasn't terrible, but it was kind of non-existent. Like Kovacic didn't do a lot. Jorginho was solid in what he did, but it wasn't
enough.
He kept the ball where, it was decent in what he did, but it wasn't enough. Where I'm like, I trust him against better teams. And I look at that midfield and I go, that their midfield is just full of the quality that they have. Where I just don't see us being able to match that, and I think the problem is that midfield will be able to create chances that they will score. I feel that they will score against us, and I don't know if we can score against them.
You barely create chances, man. You barely create chances.
The way we defend, I watched Real Madrid play against Atletico Madrid in the league when they lost. I think they lost one and they also drove them 1-0.
League and European competition.
I understand that, bro, but I'm talking about their style of play, bro. Like, the style of play remains the same regardless. Zidane is pretty pragmatic. He doesn't really change it up that much that sort of way. And
he did pretty drastically when he moved to a back three. That's pretty drastic.
What game are you speaking about?
Like most of I think once he got out of the group stages, he started playing back three in the Champions League.
This is rare from Zidane. Zidane usually sticks to his stuff, but as I was saying,
I know, I'm saying, but now he's been sticking to the back three.
Yeah.
So what you said about him being pragmatic, that's incorrect because he switched.
But in terms of the way Real Madrid play, the way we defend, it's going to be hard for them to break us down too. You know, our defense isn't that open. They have some good midfield.
Yeah, I think these guys are overrating them.
Yeah, they have the midfield that they could create a lot of chances, but we have the defense.
The chances Porto get today, Madrid do better with than Porto did.
Facts.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Someone said
What chances does Porto really have like that?
The mistake from Mendy, they have more composure there. The chance Corona has, they score that, or they at least do better than he did. The chance Corona has where he gets behind Chilwell and he tried to play it back and he was a terrible ball and we
I
cleared
think
it.
that's what
Like that.
like they only had like
with
one
those
chance.
chances.
We got
they have
Mendy
more
though.
composure on the ball.
Yeah, but I
They only
don't
had
think we'll.
one
I don't
chance,
think we'll
so
play
what
as
do you
bad
think?
as tonight against the
Why
Real
not?
Madrid. We'll up a
So
game.
why
No,
not?
we'll up a game.
I just think there's two different. I just think there's different styles of football, and Porto pressed the crap out of us.
Not today. No. We can't use today's result as
So
some
why
shit.
can we use one game from being bad?
Because we use this game to, bro. Like Tuchel was just trying to play it safe and like just see it out and just play for the all draw. It didn't work out, and they didn't. And if you look at it, Porto, they scored in the 90th minute with a fantastic goal that no one would have expected for them to score. And if that didn't happen, it would have been 0-0, bro.
Do you know what I say? I say that the game against City.
The game plan from Tuchel was just to play it safe and then just get through to the next round. So I'm not using this game as an example. It's just unfortunate that I won the goal, broke the deadlock, and Porto got the result. But
And the game against City, guys.
We lost our undefeated record, by the way. We were undefeated in the championship.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because we won the tie. But the game against City for me is going to show the mentality of our players. That's what it'll do.
Yeah.
Also, Dag, you said.
Go on, have the final four because I got go for it.
You said we lost our undefeated record, but that's in a tie that we were already ahead in. Real Madrid have already lost twice in this Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just pointing it out. It wasn't something that mattered. I was literally just
saying like a final point.
Literally, the only negative thing about today is that we simply just lost.
Yeah.
We won everything.
Anyway, we're in the semis, man. I'm happy.
What I will say is like a final point is I'm not saying we can't beat Madrid. Never said that.
Yes. Exactly.
What I'm saying is we need to temper our expectations because I'm seeing people going, "Oh, we'll slap Real Madrid. We'll beat him easily."
No, we'll never do it.
Temper your expectations. We can beat them. Just temper it a little.
Yeah, it got to be realistic. We know Real Madrid could beat us.
The only way that we're going
Big up, guys. I'm out.
The only way we're going
to I think Lewis needs to
Big
go
up,
as well.
Lewis. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we do have to remain realistic though. So let's keep calm. Let's settle ourselves down. Big up everyone who's liked and subscribed. We'll keep things calm. We'll move on to the semi-finals. We'll leave you with a photo of Thomas Tuchel lifting the fucking Champions League in 2 months. Big up everyone. Smash the like and subscribe button. Out.